balance work. Work your memory. What can I do that's good for me today? It's just, because I work from memory because I'm doing this a few times. I like to think I get reasonably good at it just from practice. You can get good at it too from practice. I'm standing on one leg. All right, so you take your hands and touch the sides of your knee. You take your arms up and touch the backs of the wrists together, the backs of the wrists. Like you're a diver, going to do a one-legged dive and touch your knee. Yeah, now if I'm a diver with these wrists together, the elbows are bent. Okay, and I just lost it. But you keep going, I just want to see how we're doing. Prove to me that this balance work really works. Keep going. All right, well, let's try the other side. Now, which side is the best side? Do you have a best side? Okay, other leg. Okay. Hands to knee. Wrists together. Like, yeah, that kind of thing. Well, my eyeballs glance around a bit sometimes. That's why I fall over all the time. Ah. You think you need fixed eyeballs to have balance. You can't look around. Yeah, actually the eyeball, interesting, like fixity of eyeballs here. You think you need fixed eyeballs for stability throughout your body, perhaps. Fixed eyeballs, presbyopia. That means you can't look up closer. It's you got to take the page a bit further away. But we did, just to bring in a sort of a metaphor or analogy here, we want full range of movement in our ankles. And just humour me a bit, but I'm just bringing in an analogy here. So supposing, now your ankle movement is like your lens accommodating to near and far. So let's just say if we come up high and there's a load on, we're working the muscles. That's like you're trying to read something really close. Like you can have your hand up, right? Reading close is like working muscles. The calf muscles are working, the lens muscles are working. Okay, so when you go down, you look away in the distance. Now we're stretching the calf muscles, and you can't actually get in there and stretch your ciliary muscles that go around your eye, your lens, but you can look in the distance. So down for a stretch, and you're looking in the distance. This is mobilizing for the muscles that work the lens. Up, working the muscles will come in close. Now just you put a hand in front of you, just try and count the going left to right over your palm. How many lines can you count? Are they a bit fuzzy? Down and look away. That's your stretch, or equivalent for your lens of your eye. Come up and the eye lens muscles work. Bring in, come on, and you're looking close to your hand. Right, how many lines? Could I read a newspaper? So down and look away. In, and maybe you're trying to look at a spot just above the tip of your nose. You're going cross-eyed. And down and look away. And then look in. So you're waiting at a bus stop. You don't have to go up and down. You could if you want, it'd be good for you. You don't have to go up and down. You can work your eyeballs. Just come on. I want you to imagine you're just... Well, a lot of... In Wellington, they've got lovely bus stops. You can sit down and you get sheltered when you need it in Wellington. There's plenty of back way there. So you're sitting in Wellington at the bus stop, somewhere out in the suburbs somewhere, and you think you'll work your eyeballs a bit. So we're standing up, but whatever. We look away in the distance and be just fine. What's something? There's a chimney over there. And then you look to something that's just a little bit closer, perhaps the post of the bus stop. The post of the bus stop, look away, look back, look away. And your lens in your eye is adjusting. When you look close, it's contracting. Look away, the eyes relaxing. Look in, look away. And so it goes. Now, I may have got that wrong about which one's the contracting one, but you get the idea. This is accommodation, looking near and far. So supposing you did, like, there's a ball of a rule of thumb. Researchers, if they want to prove that an exercise works, they'll get you doing it about 300 times a week. But if we did 50, 10, even 10 a day, we'll be well on the way to maybe not needing those reading glasses. So, but also you're getting your eyeballs moving. Well, perhaps we'll get a little bit of eyeball moving. Now, I remember a chap that had, let's get on with something else, eyeballs moving. I'll tell you a story about a very brave little rugby player. So I met him when he was 65. He was a brave little rugby player. So, your neck and your shoulders, and indeed the whole body is like a tripod for your cameras, your eyes. It's just a thought. But looking up, 1, 2, 3. You might lift your eyebrows and look up under your eyebrows. You just be aware of looking vertically up. So, and then come on down. And now look, you might just take a hand and just look at your thumbnail. Have you got any dirt under your thumbnails? Not too bad. All right, so nubium, and up a chin. Look at the clouds. Then we'll come on down and look at your second finger up close. Collarbone relaxed. 1, 2, 3. Come down and just check your pinky finger. Okay. So just exercise there. And you can put eyeball movement in as an exercise just about anywhere. If you're at the gym, well, look up, look down. You get the eye. 1, 2, 3. And if you imagine your eyes are pushing out a tennis ball being thrown, it's throwing it up and over. So take your eyeballs and make them look out that way. And the line of sight, you can imagine it's not straight, it's actually curving up and over. So come back. 1, 2, 3. And the eyeballs are looking over. Not straight line eyeballs, they're just looking over that way. They're continuing the 1, 2, 3 curve. 1, 2, 3, eyeballs, and the hands describing how the eyeball's looking. 1, 2, 3, and the eyeballs are looking curved fashion. So anyway, you should have your eyeballs looking up to the top, to your eyebrows, and a little bit in the direction of the curve. I'm picturing the eyeball sending a tennis ball out, and it goes rise up and in the parabola and sinks to the ground. Let's see. So the discussion with let's do a quad stretch, we'll just get on with something else. The discussion with a brave little rugby player. Now this guy is a wool classer, and he's a really can-do sort of guy. Really nice chap to talk to. But he was a really keen rugby player. The only trouble was he was just a little fella. And the big guys had, well, they look at him and do a tackle, and they had lots of courage because they had twice the weight. So, boom, concussed. But he'd never give up. He'd get up and keep playing. He got lots of concussions, so he couldn't safely move his eyeballs. He had to move his whole head. Because the eyeballs, they get very dizzy and headachy if he moved his eyeballs. Quad stretch, top of thigh forward, tailbone tucked, pubic bone lifting. Muscle stretching. Smiling and trying not to grimace with the discomfort. I'll just try the other side. So we're stretching the muscle now, and we strengthen other muscles. Well, why not work your eyeball muscles or the eye lens muscles? What happens when you narrow your nostrils? What does that do to your eyes? Do you want to look down when you narrow your nostrils? I seem to want to look down when I narrow my nostrils. And if we widen our nostrils, do we want to look straight ahead or up, or what do we want to do with our eyeballs? I want to look straight ahead. How about you? Wide nostrils, breathe in, smell the roses. That's really putting your awareness out there when you widen your nostrils. I'm just suggesting anyway. But there is something useful in all this, is that if your eyeballs are moving well and your facial muscles are moving well, you haven't got dementia. And in fact, lips. Look up face yoga if you really want to follow that one through. I'm going to stretch out in the dog sit. And if I can move the boundary right up to, or comfortable right up to guys for girls, not quite, I'm just not quite comfortable there. But if we just come out of the